But anyway, yo, what up, guys? Anybody watching? Anybody listening? Whatever. What is
All
going
t-
on?
all two of us at
All
the same
two of
time.
us. Um. So, Mr. Chair, sir, how have you been? How's your week been?
Good. I've just been preparing for my real estate license like always. In about 10 days from now, I'll be taking my first quiz to get that first level certificate. I need three of them. Gotta send them off to the state. State approves them, and then you go and take your license exam.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from that, just did a lot of stuff for some agents. Installed a new computer in the office yesterday. It wasn't really that hard though, honestly. With computers these days, you just plug everything in, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Um, got print drivers set up. Good to go. Office stuff, pretty boring. Yesterday I was juggling a lot of crazy stuff though.
Yeah. Dude, I've been doing more of like my new position at work. It's been a lot of work, but it's good, but it's always hard when you're like balancing two jobs at once, kind of.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
so, but it's cool. Um, Other than that, I mean, not a whole lot has gone on. Eternals came out.
Yep, I'm
You're
going to go
watching
see
that
it.
soon?
Yeah, next week on Tuesday with Jeff. Remember him from work? We're gonna
Yeah. Jeff is
yeah.
Jeff is the guy.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. So,
Yeah.
Tuesdays it's not $5 anymore. It used to be $5 Tuesdays, but it's now $6.50.
Oh, well, that's not
For
bad.
yeah, if there is one more dollar, I'm gonna write. What's the difference between $7.50 and $9.50? It's $2 difference. It doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah,
Um,
they're bridging the gap.
yeah, for sure. But so $6.50 for a ticket. It has to be matinee though. Can't be after 5. Which is fine.
Yeah. I saw it already, but I'll wait for you to see it before we
Yeah,
can
well, just okay.
discuss it.
So it's just a immediate reaction: thumbs up or thumbs down, like just your personal reaction.
Well, personally, I like the movie. I mean, I
Okay, so a thumbs up.
yeah. I
Okay.
can understand some criticisms. Obviously, there's always
Yeah,
criticisms, but yeah,
yeah.
thumbs up for me. But I guess Star Wars fans are all very angry today. So
Oh no.
uh,
Oh
yeah,
God forbid.
yeah, they're always
Oh,
angry.
dude. Wild tangent, but I've been on a bit of a Star Wars bender. Some people may notice from my Discord history if you're watching this and
Yeah, I saw you were playing Star Wars. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So
I don't even know what this game is. Whatever it
uh,
is.
Em- Empire at War. Well, there's two games. There's one game I want to introduce you to because it's 100% free and you just need a little bit of technical know-how and the physical disc. It's a Star Wars Galaxies. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of Star Wars Galaxies, but is that the one you play on your phone, the mobile one?
No, that's Star Wars Galaxies Heroes.
Oh, yeah, that
So
one's
Star Wars
terrible.
Galaxies is this really old MMORPG from around 2003-ish, and they got shut down, but a lot of people really love that game. So like a few thousand people came together and they developed a kind of like underground server for a community that really still wanted to play it. Um, and it's just it's like a lively, thriving community. It's great. It's also a really great Star Wars game. You can visit all the planets. You can go on Tatooine. You can go to Jabba's palace and run around. You can fly over to Dathomir and get beat up by a bunch of Night Sisters. We can go to Mustafar and stuff like that. Crazy game. A lot going on. But I really think you, me, and it would have a good time just exploring it. I'm a little addicted to it because I've been wanting to. I'm a huge MMO junkie, as some people may know, and I've always wanted to play that game, but it was a little complicated for my little young mind back when I played it in like 2009 when it was on its downward slope, about to get shut down.
Hmm.
Like crafting items in that game is just super complicated. Well, it's not that complicated. You just need to know what you're doing, which is what you can say about everything. But there's still a lot
Huh.
of things you gotta think into. And so I'm playing on the Star Wars Galaxies Legends server, and it's great. It's a good time. Uh, there's like a
Gotcha.
there's a guild that dresses up as like they put on stormtrooper armor, and their guild name is Imps, and they go around harassing people in the main city that everyone spends time at, which is Mos Eisley. They just go around harassing people with like the in-game chat as stormtroopers. It's really funny. So at least I think it's funny because I'm a huge nerd. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Empire at War. So what do you do in
uh,
this game?
Okay, so that's Empire War is a real-time strategy game. You like do
It's not
uh,
turn-based, is it?
no, it's real-time strategy. So
Okay.
real-time means there's no turns, but it's a double-sided, it's a two-sided coin because the well, space battles are really fun, are really interesting. There's a lot of actually like thought you have to put into them. Building your little like galaxy, you have to build your empire basically. You know, you have to build mining locations and build factories. They can build little like vehicles and shit like that and troopers. And then you do like land invasions, and the land combat sucks. It's just so clunky in the eye. It's just so stupid.
Hmm.
And there's really cheesy things you can do too. Like there's these things called TIE modelers, which are like TIE fighter. Look at cause the one thing I really love about this game is if you're a huge Star Wars nerd, which you are, and I am. They reference a lot of the books, like a lot of the books. They have hero characters like Mara Jade's a hero character you can unlock and play as her.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, do they have the
And
old PS1 Star Wars like fighting game? Does that exist out there still?
you could probably find an emulator of it if you search hard enough.
I
You
don't
just need to
remember
make
what it
sure.
was called, but that game
Yeah,
was
just get
fun.
like a you have to get the PS1 box, whatever it's called these days. PlayStation emulator. Plug it in.
Yeah. Mara Jade was in that though too.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Anyway, priorities. Um, but aside from that, Star Wars Empire War is really good, and then Star Wars Empire War has an expansion called Forces of Corruption, where he plays Tiber Zahn, and
Mm.
he's like this criminal underlord, and this is about him taking over the criminal underground. You know, like he's just working with bounty hunters and smugglers and shit like that. The problem is, though, which is really weird, is which is actually really great, is that his story takes place when the Empire is collapsing, and they actually have a mission involving the Eclipse, which is the Super Star Destroyer Palpatine was building that had like a giant Death Star laser in it.
Yeah.
And the model of the Eclipse is actually in game, and it's fucking huge. And it's like you're literally having a little space battle around this giant spaceship because it's not finished yet. And it's just a really great game. It's really entertaining. Thrawn's in it; he's a big part of it. Tiber's on story in the expansion. He's just a really his personal Star Destroyer is like all special like and stuff, and the model looks really cool. And it shoots like a little laser, like a giant one that can, yeah, it's dope.
Nice.
And it's just a great game. I'm glad it exists. I'm glad I get to come back and play it sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to play some more games here, but
Well, they're not cheap. Yeah, wait
yeah.
for Steam sales for sure, especially like for games like that, because it'll be
Oh, of
for like
course. Yeah,
for
like
five.
five
It'll be for
dollars or whatever
$5. Yeah, yeah.
instead of 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. And then Star
But
Wars Galaxies, you need a physical disc, but I'm gonna bring you the physical disc when we go and watch Spider-Man, and I'm gonna help you install it, Legends, and then we can stream it together and play it sometime. I think we'll have a good time. You can just hop my speed, or we can go to different parts of the galaxy and talk about it.
cool.
Yeah.
Um yeah, the have you are you interested in or have you played the new Guardians of the Galaxy game?
No.
I heard it's really good, but
That may be the case, but like after I watched some gameplay of Avengers, and I'm just not
yeah,
sure.
people hated that. But I think overwhelmingly people like Guardians.
Well, maybe I'll look at it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about buying it, but I think it's probably too big of a download for my PC right now, so I probably just play it on PS5 or not PS5. I don't have one of those, but a PS4 or whatever.
Would it be nice to have a PS5?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, really, all it's doing right now is collecting dust, right? Like, I mean, there's almost no reason to have a PS5 at the moment.
I would just be playing Demon Souls nonstop. that's,
Are
that's
you
my
gonna play Elden
problem.
Ring?
Yeah, yes, after I beat Demon Souls. And to beat Demon Souls, I need to get a PS5, so it's like a quest. A quest that
Mm,
costs $500.
of course, of
Or,
course.
so maybe I'll do Black Friday and see if I can get my hands on one. Like, me and my family gone pretty hardcore. We've done some 1:30 in the morning shows before it started, so.
Yeah, a lot of things are gonna
Yeah.
be like fully closed this year, though.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
because it's probably because of the shortage, because some employees realize, oh, hey, I have a valuable skill set, and I don't need to let this work at this place where this guy treats me like absolute garbage.
well, I mean,
So
more
I'm just
than
gonna,
that, I mean, there's still labor shortages, so probably
yeah,
don't even have enough people to help facilitate like anymore.
yeah.
So,
Ooh.
um, But all right. Are you familiar with all the stuff that came out on Disney Plus Day?
Just the Obi-Wan. I watched Jungle Cruise though. It was really cute. I actually really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but I didn't watch any. I didn't know if there's anything else other than Star Warsy. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
I know
so the a lot of people thought that we were gonna get a lot of Star Wars stuff today. Like it was heavily talked about. They're like, oh, we'll get a trailer for Obi-Wan, and we'll get like stuff for Andor and all this other stuff. And it's like people were so mad on Twitter, like, oh my god, Disney didn't do anything. Like, dude, Star Wars has its own events. They'll probably announce everything there. Like.
yeah,
And
it's
it's
a
not
really big
Star Wars Day;
franchise.
it's Disney Plus Day. Like it's all about all of Disney. Um, so the announcements today. I mean, we got the sizzle reel from Obi-Wan Kenobi. To me, this is a pretty big announcement. The old animated X-Men series from the '90s,
Mm.
they're bringing it back, um, like rebooting it pretty much, and
Mm.
it's gonna be called X-Men '97 because I believe that was the last year it aired. And so I guess it'll pick up from like when it left off.
Good.
Uh, so
I mean,
that'll be
that's good
cool.
if you. Yeah, that's good if you're psyched about that series.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you watched it. Maybe it was a little like before your time.
Yeah.
But I watched it a little bit growing up, and like even after like during reruns and whatever on like WB for kids or whatever in the morning. You know, like with Yu-Gi-Oh and all that other shit that would go on.
Every morning cartoons. Every
Yeah,
morning, 9 o'clock
hell yeah,
or 8, 6:30. You can see the really weird shit.
yeah. There was a first look at Moon Knight, which Oscar Isaac is playing Moon Knight. So you get like a couple of shots from that, which is pretty cool. And that'll be coming out in 2022. So I'm super happy about that. We got kind of a sneak peek at She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
You see Mark Ruffalo's Smart Hulk, Professor Hulk, whatever you want to call him. The Hulk from Endgame is in the trailer. And then we kind of see She-Hulk a little bit like from the back, but like not really. So there's that. That's also coming out next year on Disney Plus. And then we got like another kind of look at Miss Marvel, which is confirmed for now summer of next year. So those are pretty cool. I mean, out of those, like I love Moon Knight, like so I'm super pumped for Moon Knight. I like She-Hulk quite a bit too. At least like more recent runs of She-Hulk are pretty decent. And the Kamala Khan Miss Marvel is amazing. I just don't know how the series is gonna be. It looks really weird
Mm.
in some ways, but it'll probably be good as well. The other part of like live action future Marvel TV on Disney Plus is Agatha House of Harkness. I mean, Agatha was great in WandaVision. I don't really care about her having her own series though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be interesting and it'll be good. Like, I also didn't care about a Loki series when that was announced.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
It just really depends how they spin it, you know. Like Loki brought in a lot of different themes and a lot of it was trying to tie a lot of parts together, and of course it had star power. Well, not really star power, which had great acting. Owen Wilson again was awesome as Mobius.
Yeah.
Um, you know, the ending to me was kind of lame. I know some people are mad about the relationship, like really, really, really mad about the whole Sylvie Loki thing. I don't really care about that. I just kind of like the Watcher in What If was more interesting than the Watcher
Oh, then He
in
Who
Loki.
Remains. Yeah.
Yeah, He Remains or whatever his name is. Like,
Yeah. Pretty much Kang the Conqueror, but in a different form.
okay, so different characters. My bad. But still, either way, like it would have been cool if it was a Watcher or something like the TV.
Yeah, but
Oh,
because it seems like they play similar roles in a lot of ways. But except the
yeah.
Watcher doesn't really care about the alternate universes. He lets them happen, but
Mm.
He Who Remains was super concerned about that, right?
Yeah, and did I talk about? Yeah, did I splurge about how I changed my mind on What If yet? Is it
You
something
told me
that's
personally, but we haven't talked about
okay?
it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
watched. You know, T'Challa as a Star Lord was okay. It was really. It was just kind of dorky and dumb, and I was like, "Oh, this is entertaining. Like everything's perfect, and Thanos is going
yeah.
on a mission with him."
I the thing is, like, I thought that was so odd. Like, I love Chadwick Boseman. It was great to hear his voice again. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Black Panther. Like, just like, oh, he's so good. He like turns everyone good. It's like it's a
yeah,
little over the top Like,
Yeah, he made Thanos forget, he's still talking about committing genocide though, so it was just very strange. And it was weird to hear Josh Brolin. It was weird too, the voice acting, to hear all the VAs all the time. It was
Chris Hemsworth's voice acting was super odd.
yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. And that I know I love that episode, but it was just terrible. Like the
Yeah.
voice acting was terrible.
I loved Frost Giant Loki though.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's go in order. So episode 3 was a serial killer, right?
Episode
Yeah.
3 was yeah, what if the Avengers were killed or whatever. Like that
Yeah.
was the first episode I thought, wow, this is
I was
actually
like,
pretty
okay.
decent.
Okay. Like, when he
So
goes
you
to the
agree with
graveyard.
me though? The first 2
Yeah.
episodes are pretty fucking bad.
Bad. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I told that to someone I work with, and they're like, "Wow, I actually really liked the first 2 and didn't like the third one." I was like, "What the
Okay.
fuck?" Like the first 2 are just like they try like nothing really
The animation
changes
was really
about
bad.
the first episode. Nothing really changes. Like it's just so
Yeah.
super weird. Like, and then the second episode is like they make all these changes, but at the same time, it's like it's still way too far out there.
Yeah,
And
it was dorky. It was dorky and lame and too quirky. That's
and
the
the third
thing. Like,
episode, it was like it actually made sense.
yeah, like it was intense and dark and weird. And it made it was good. And I like at the end that Loki stays.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. And then let's see, what's the episode after that? Doctor
Doctor Strange
Strange.
loses his heart instead of his
Yeah,
hands.
very intense episode. Also very straight, fantastic.
Mhm.
Benedict Cumberbatch slid into the voice acting role really well. To me doesn't really, I don't notice any difference between it in the movies. And the animation, the syncing is really good. That's when the animation starts to really look weird and cool when he's summoning all these weird creatures.
Mhm. Yeah, like when he's literally devouring them too.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's a character from the comics everyone knows about that I didn't know about or something, or a famous comic line, I'm sure. Um, you get a little bit of the interaction between him and the Watcher, and the Watcher like turns away from him. You should have known better, and he literally ends his own universe. Like he
Yeah.
fucked with time too much, and it was crazy and intense. And he like he lives in this dark prison forever.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I don't remember what was after that, but it might have been the zombies one, which was
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it was just funny and dorky. Spider-Man was, it's like a kind of like a run on Zombieland.
Yeah, and of course, like the sexiest man alive of 2021, Paul Rudd. The head in the jar, kind of steals the show a little bit too.
That's when I really started to like that. Now I remember. Yep.
Yeah. And then they did.
T'Challa.
Yeah, they did Party Thor.
Yeah, and I really love that episode, even
Yeah.
for all its issues. Dude, it's just
Yeah.
there's so much funny shit in that episode that really just made me laugh my ass off. Like,
Yeah, it's really good. It's really entertaining. Like if you can get past the first few episodes of What If, it gets much better.
and
And
the one
then
thing too, I just wanted to say real quick about the Thor episode. Like, what I think is really funny to point out is that he's almost like super ridiculously like overpowered strong in that timeline because Loki isn't his brother, so he's like robbed. He doesn't doubt himself basically,
yeah.
and it's without Loki being evil and like bringing them all to Earth. Like the worst problem is that Thor is causing such a huge party, like spreading the rest of the planet. And
The funny thing is too about that is like people didn't like a more lighthearted, funny Thor when like a lot of people didn't like Ragnarok and stuff because of how Thor was in it and stuff. Like oh
yeah,
he should be serious like. And then like obviously the What If Party Thor, like there's so many comics where Thor is like that, like a party character. So I don't know what these people are smoking, but it's not anything new for Thor to act like that. But yeah.
well, lost you. Are you still there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry,
Can
I
you
lost
hear
you
me?
for a second.
Oh.
Yeah, there's some little bit of sync issue, but might have been lags, but I'm not sure what's going on. Let's see. After that is the first part of
I think
Ultron.
so.
We get
Yeah.
we get Ultron with the 5 Infinity Gems. He blows up his universe. Also, forgot to mention about Party Thor. Jeff Goldblum is in there.
Mm-hmm.
They'll release the foam, and we're stealing the scoots. We will show right them. It's just funny shit.
Yeah.
Ultron OP, great
Yeah.
shit. It was just, I'm sure that character is probably another comic series or a comic line that was probably really fun to read.
Yeah, when in the last episode when like Doctor Strange releases like the dragon shit, like you could do that the whole time.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Uh,
And
oh
Viva
yeah,
lost.
tying in Armzola. Was that a full episode with
No,
Nat?
that's the thing. That's the thing I wanted to ask you. Where Gamora, who killed,
Oh
she killed her father, Slayer of Thanos. We never saw anything with
yeah, we
her,
didn't see
and
that.
she was
Yeah,
brought in.
I
Uh,
think
the
I think
the
they
Infinity Gem Crusher.
I think they had episodes that were cut from this season, and we'll see them next season.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I just don't know what else to say. They're all
Oh
pretty short, to be honest. The
yeah,
fight scenes were really, really good, though. You notice where all the budget went from the first two episodes.
yeah.
They went into they went into like the fight scene between, like, for instance, for Party Thor, the Marvel, him versus Captain Marvel. The hand combat scenes were just crazy intense, especially with when he had the hammer. Joy to watch. It's great to see animation of that quality, especially. For something like a Marvel project, which is, again, their legacy before Iron Man was really, really shitty. Straight to DVD home movies, and they
Yeah.
were not good. They were really bad. Rough watch.
Speaking of that, I mean, that was also announced today. What If season 2? So after enlisting the Guardians of the Multiverse to stop Infinity Ultron in season 1 of What If, the Watcher returns to meet new heroes and explore more strange new worlds in the multiverse. They also announced a Spider-Man animated series called Freshman Year. It will follow Peter Parker on his way to becoming Spider-Man in the MCU with style that celebrates the character's early comic book roots.
Oh boy, I can't wait to see Peter Parker get bit by a spider again. I
Yeah,
haven't
can't
seen
wait to
that
see
enough
Uncle
times.
Ben get murdered again. But he'll
Oh
probably
yeah.
be young and hot.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, and it makes the death of Uncle Ben even more tragic because his potential and his amazing young life was snatched right before his eyes in his early
Yeah.
20s as he
And all,
raised his
and
16-year-old nephew.
all the wisdom that he could have passed on of those 8 years between the two of them was
Yeah,
so much that Peter Parker lost. So much.
yeah. I mean, without 24-year-old Uncle Ben, how would Peter ever learn to do his taxes? How would he learn to drive a forklift? I mean, it's just more tragic. More tragic.
Or no. They're really going to kill Uncle Ben again, aren't they? Oh, okay. So any other really big announcements from Disney Plus Day?
They announced Echo, which is a spin-off, pretty much. I mean, Echo is a comic book character, obviously. Echo is a deaf Native American hero who will get her own Disney Plus series. She's going to be an Ultron, played by Alaqua Cox. Maya Lopez is Echo. She'll be in Hawkeye, but get her own series as well.
Cool. I saw the Hawkeye trailer too, and I actually thought it looked pretty good. But
They had like an extended look of Hawkeye as well, Disney Plus day or whatever today, where like they showed like a pretty long scene and like a couple other like cut things together. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Hawkeye.
yeah, we probably to thank we have a good production team, whoever's on that. And we have Jeremy Renner, who's just I think he does all of his own freaking stunts. The guy's
Yeah,
crazy,
and
So
Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, looks pretty good.
yep. So we'll see. Hopefully, we'll talk about that soon. Oh, I forgot to mention, I actually sat down and watched Black Widow because I saw it was streaming now on Disney Plus.
Did you?
Dude, it just felt so uninspired. That's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah,
It wasn't bad. It was just kind of boring. It was just action. It was action scene, stupid exposition, Russian jokes or this old and fat Russian man doing dumb Russian things.
yeah. That for me, I mean, Florence Pugh, who plays Yelena, she just carries the movie on her back.
Yeah.
Because I thought she was really good.
Yeah.
And it'll be good to see her more in the future. Like I'm sure you saw the post-credit scene, with the return of Madam Hydra, like recruiting, and told her, "Hey, Hawkeye killed your sister. Go find him."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just more of building for like Thunderbolts kind of thing, or Dark Avengers, or what have you, whatever you want to call it. They're pretty much interchangeable. They announced Marvel Zombies, a new animated series from Marvel Studios that reimagines the Marvel Universe with new heroes battling against an ever-spreading zombie scourge. Look, people loved Marvel zombie comics. I didn't really care for them, but people who like it, more power to you. You get a full animated series now.
There you go. Yep.
Ironheart also, I mean, this was announced previously. Ironheart stars Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams, a genius inventor who creates the most advanced suit of armor since Iron Man. Secret Invasion, they showed a shot of Nick Fury. Samuel L. Jackson's coming back. It's going to be live action. He looked a little disfigured. It'll have Ben Mendelsohn as Talos from... They were both in Captain Marvel together. And yeah, it follows, or it's supposed to follow. Who knows? It'll probably follow closely the comic book event about a faction of shape-shifting Skrulls who have infiltrated Earth and have been there for years. Other than that, I Am Groot, which is a series of original shorts that explore Baby Groot's early days growing up and getting into trouble in space. Cool. Like I said, What If Season 2. The Guardians...
Sounds cute.
Yeah. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. James Gunn is going to be doing that. I don't... That's next year, right? That comes out, or is it this year?
I'm not sure. Like, at first I thought it was going to be like a dumb animated thing, but then you said, oh, like, it's going to be the actual cast and crew. I'm like, okay, well...
I think it is. I don't actually know, but I thought it was announced it was going to be.
Let's see.
There's also Willow. You know what Willow is. So Warwick Davis, who was in the original Willow, he's coming back. There's a new cast with Ruby Cruz, Aaron Kellerman, Ellie Bomber, Tony Ravolari, Marsha Patel, and Dempsey Brick. They're all coming back for the Disney Plus series of Willow. Da, da, da. There's also a special look called Under the Helmet, Legacy of Boba Fett on Disney Plus if you want to watch that. That was released today. And then in like more like Disney / Pixar news, there's gonna be a series.
I saw a lot of announcements. I was just scrolling on my Instagram feed, like, oh, this got announced, and by like 2 p.m. this got announced. So that's good. I hope they don't suck, because I'll be honest. You know, people talk about Toy Story. It was great. But, you know, Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 were pretty good too. But, you know, there were other Pixar movies that got secondary shows where the actors were not the same. And it was rough, man. It was really some of their extended Disney's extended cut stuff was not very good. So
I think Disney did a decent job with most of like their movie sequels and stuff, other than like Pocahontas 2, which like Beauty and the Beast 2, Mulan 2.
Hunchback of Notre Dame 2.
Yeah, Hunchback 2. Okay, well, a lot of those are pretty... even the Lion King sequels were not great.
What was it, 3.5? It was just like a mock-up.
But, like, at that time of Disney, like, even, like, their TV shows weren't great. Like, the TV shows based on those movies. Because I remember they did a bunch, but I think they've come to a place where, like, a lot of the stuff they're doing now doesn't really miss. So they announced Tiana, which is it's a long-form musical series. It's going to be animated, I believe. It's coming to Disney Plus in 2023. In the series, Tiana sets off for a grand new adventure as the newly crowned princess of Maldonia, but a calling to her New Orleans past isn't far behind. So that's based on The Princess and the Frog, Tiana.
Yep.
Zootopia Plus, return to the fast-paced mammal metropolis of Zootopia with Zootopia Plus, a new short-form series coming to Disney Plus in 2022. Sure. Have you seen Zootopia? Did you like it?
I did. I thought it was cute. Like, you know, it was okay.
Yeah, I mean, but like, is that a world you're like, you know, craving to you know, engage in?
No, but I'm sure there are a lot of people that are. And you know, more power to them. Maybe I'll watch it if I'm bored on like a Saturday night or something. I'm more excited for Lightyear than anything else.
Yeah.
I watched that trailer like 30 times. It's just
Lightyear looks pretty bomb.
It did.
Cars on the Road for some reason. Mater and Lightning McQueen from Cars go on a cross-country road trip. Streaming in 2022. So Owen Wilson and Larry the Cable Guy are coming back. I mean, I
Car had
saw
some.
Cars 1 and didn't care that much about it and never watched it again, so.
I really enjoyed Cars 1 personally, but maybe I was a little bit younger when I saw it, so maybe that's why.
Did you
But
like the sequels?
Cars 2 and Cars 3 were really weird. They were okay. They weren't like, they were like memes, like, just a bunch of stupid jokes and like between locations. And
Mm,
it Cars 1, it dealt with a lot about like how to deal with success and what you should do with it. And I feel like that was an important message to like deliver to kids.
yeah.
Uh, but sequels were just, they were memes, like I said. Kind of like the Minion movies.
Yeah. Disenchanted was announced. Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey return for Disenchanted, the sequel film to Enchanted, coming to
Oh,
Disney Plus.
is that the
Called,
one when they were like when they were cartoons and they transport to like the real world?
I think so.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to go see that with a girl. That's hella funny.
Oh, yeah. So that'll be out Disney Plus 2022, fall of 2022. Cheaper by the dozen. Gabrielle Union and Zach Braff star in the reimagining of the hit family comedy coming in March 2022. I didn't watch the original Cheaper by the dozen. I don't really give a shit about this one, but whatever.
Yeah. We'll see. A lot of good stuff.
Hocus Pocus 2. Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy return as the Sanderson sisters in Hocus Pocus 2, the sequel to the Halloween classic, premiering fall 2022. Do you like Hocus Pocus?
No, but I know a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah, it's like
Halloween.
a cult classic kind of thing, but whatever.
Yeah, like I watched the movie. I thought it was cute. But aside from that, like
Yeah. Same
that
boat.
was just it to me. It was just cute. Like it was. Yeah.
The Ice Age Adventures of Buck
Uh,
Wild.
God.
Yeah,
Keep
Ice Age was
forgetting.
another one, right?
I keep forgetting Ice Age is Pixar. I keep thinking it was. I always thought it was DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Uh, well, that'll be something I'll never watch. If I
Uh,
see that squirrel die again, I'm gonna get really mad.
Baymax, a spinoff of Big Hero 6, Baymax, Walt Disney Animation Studios' first animated series, starts streaming on Disney Plus in summer 2022. There's a trailer for it. I mean, Baymax is cute. I mean, I don't know if you
Yeah,
watched Big Hero 6, but
I did. I enjoyed it a lot, especially because they had like some Baymax aggro scenes where it's like the way to the way to the inventors use technology and how they kind of like shift it very violent very quickly. I thought that was a great little contrast they threw in. But
yeah.
aside from that, again, if I'm bored on a Saturday night, wait, oh, I haven't watched this, then I'll probably turn it on in the background while
Right.
I'm playing a game.
The Spiderwick Chronicles. Disney Plus announced a new series adaptation of the Spiderwick Chronicles, a modern coming-of-age story combined with fantasy adventure. The series, based on the best-selling books, follows the Grace family, twin brothers Jared and Simon, their sister Mallory, and mother Helen, as they move into their dilapidated ancestral home and begin to unravel a dark mystery about the great-great-uncle who once discovered a secret and fairy world existing parallel to their own.
Cute.
Did you ever read Spider Chronicles?
Negative.
Negative for
That's a
me too.
negative. That's a negative. What's
Uh,
God, I'm trying to think of like any of the. Cause I kind of missed Hunger Games. That's the thing. Like I think yeah, because I didn't really read Hunger Games. I didn't really like. I picked up the first book, and I didn't really. It just didn't really interest me that much, so I put it away. And
yeah, like for like with like Twilight and Hunger Games and stuff, it's like that stuff came along when I was like more of a teenager, I think, or like coming to
yeah,
puberty, where it's like anything that starts gaining popularity, you automatically dislike, as a teenager.
yeah,
But like Harry
yeah,
Potter was like we were kids, so it's like
yeah.
we grew up like wanting to read those things, and we weren't jaded yet by life, so we didn't like say, oh, those are popular, I'm not gonna read those.
Yeah. That's the other thing I'm doing lately. Me and a friend of mine have been rewatching all the Harry Potter movies. The
Yeah,
first two, I stand by again, like just like the Phantom Menace. It's a movie made for kids. The first two movie involves children, like they're seeing the lens of the world through children's eyes. But then Prisoner of Azkaban happens. You get the interaction at the end with Peter Pettigrew and like Sirius Black, which is a very intense scene, very well done.
yeah,
Then it breaks into freaking the Goblet of Fire when you have that class by Moody or the guy who's disguised as Moody, teaching about the curses. It gets really crazy, intense, really quick. torture
Yeah,
curse and the killing
motherfucker.
curse.
We murdered Edward Cullen, yo.
Yeah, he killed a lot of people.
Yeah. This might interest more people. Pinocchio, inspired by
Ooh,
Disney's animated classic. This retelling, directed by Robert Zemeckis, combines live action and visual effects and stars Tom Hanks, Cynthia Erivo, Luke Evans, and the voices of Benjamin Evan Ainsworth, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Keegan-Michael Key, and Lorraine Bracco. Pinocchio premieres on Disney Plus in fall of 2022.
is it a movie or is it a series?
It's a movie.
Okay, so maybe that'll be really good then. Yeah, Pinocchio is one of those things where I could definitely see it because you've either got to do a live action puppet and you've got to do it really really well, or you've got a CGI and the CGI needs to look flawless. Because there are some characters that CGI really helped out, like Gollum, for instance. And Pinocchio shouldn't be that hard to make him look. I think the technology there, you can make something made of wood.
Yeah, I mean, Pinocchio looked decent in Shrek. They can make him look decent in live action.
Yeah, for sure. And the things they can do now too, with the replacement series. I just watched an interesting scene. I'll link it to you later. Did you know about the Jabba the Hutt scene in the original A New Hope?
Mm-hmm.
Like with the guy, they recorded it with the dude.
Yeah, that's the one where Han Solo steps on his tail, right?
Yeah, but they had an original cut of that from like the original movie, and they recorded it with some random ass dude. It's like it was so strange to watch. Like I'll send it to you later because they actually cut that scene and like the intention George Lucas had the intention of like editing Jabba into it, but the
Yeah.
technology just wasn't there at the time, which is why they edited it in later. That scene got
Was that
added
in
in.
the original release?
It wasn't. That's the thing. It was the entire scene was cut. Like it just skipped to them
Uh,
like stop that ship, blast them.
yeah.
Class line. And
And then in the special editions, he added like actual
yeah,
Jabba. Yeah.
with the CGI, yeah. But there's a scene
But
where
the
it's like
CGI looked really bad in the
it
special
did.
editions.
But there was a really good scene with a human actor, which I don't understand why they didn't do, but it was a human person,
Yeah.
so I guess I get it.
I
Anyway, fun
remember
little
hearing about
tidbit.
that too.
I'll
The
link it to you.
the Beatles get back. Watch a
Oh,
clip from Peter Jackson's upcoming docu-series, The Beatles Get Back, showing the legendary band
Peter
performing
Jackson.
I've Got a Feeling. The 3-night event starts streaming Disney Plus November 25th. I mean, a lot of people like the Beatles. A lot of people hate the Beatles. Whatever.
Peter Jackson, that poor man's on been such a journey lately. It's just after The Hobbit. Like he's
Yeah.
just doing a little documentary series. Hey,
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. John Mulaney and Andy
God.
Samberg voice Chip and Dale in this hybrid live-action CG animated feature coming to Disney Plus spring 2022. Don't care about that.
I'm not watching that. Yeah, the voices are gonna grind into my ear. No, thank you.
Limitless with Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth discovers the full potential of the human body in the 6-part series from National Geographic, streaming 2022. Okay, cool. Let's watch
Yep.
buff people do cool things that we could never do because we're lazy Americans.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're already addicted to really enriched foods, processed foods.
Yeah.
So it's a little too late for us, but that's cute.
Welcome to Earth. Will Smith explores Earth's greatest wonders in the 6-part original.
Wait, what? What's the name of the series again? And who is the main actor?
The series is called Welcome to Earth, and Will Smith explores Earth's greatest wonders in the 6-part original series from National Geographic, streaming December 8th, 2021.
I wonder if they put that in and they thought that nobody would notice. Do you know what that's referencing?
Oh, is that
In
the YouTube?
No, in the famous movie Independence Day, when aliens invade the Earth, Will Smith is a U.S. Army pilot or a U.S. Air Force pilot, excuse me,
Uh-huh.
and he's fighting the aliens and he shoots one down, but his own jet fighter gets knocked down. So he goes over to the alien craft with his gun and he like opens it up and out comes like the squiggly, tentacly alien thing, and he just punches it square in the fucking face and he says, "Welcome to Earth."
Yeah, I think they did that on purpose. Even Ryojin in the chat says, "I see what they did there." Nat
Yes.
Geo. Yeah, yeah, that has to be on purpose. I never watched Independence Day because I'm a lame, but yeah. Then there's America the Beautiful. Visit the spacious skies, the amber waves of grain, and the purple mountain majesties in the new trailer for America the Beautiful, a new 6-part series streaming on Disney Plus in 2022.
Okay, I mean,
Cool.
just go take a hike somewhere. Unless you can't get there, unless it's too expensive, then watch
Yeah.
documentary.
The next great series, Sneakerella. Set in the sneakerhead subculture of New York City, the movie puts a gender-flipped twist on the Cinderella fairy tale. Sneakerella premieres on Disney Plus on February 18th, 2022.
That sounds cute. I'm sure it's fine. Like maybe they'll like add in some like dance numbers or something like that. Something more popular.
Yeah, I can never look at Cinderella the same because when I was in high school, I took German for 4 years, and in like my third year, we had to read Grimm fairy tales, and I got the pleasure of reading Aschenputtel, aka Cinderella. Motherfuckers was breaking their toes, cutting off their feet.
Cutting off their
Jesus
feet. Yeah.
Christ, man.
They sentenced them to dance on hot irons after. Very good stuff.
Yeah. The next one, the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. Penny Proud is grown up in the Proud Family, Louder and Prouder. The new show, based on the Disney Channel series from the 2000s, starts streaming February 2022. I liked Proud Family as a kid.
Yeah, it was fun. It was entertaining. It was something different, which is something a lot of kids were, just a fact of life that some people want to deny, but it's a fact of life that some people don't even know. Like, oh my God, what are the families like? Like they're exactly like yours. So it's important that people see that,
Yeah.
And I'm glad they're bringing it back. It was a really popular series. They made a movie that was really popular. I remember it was had a slight release in theaters.
So it's also interesting that like she's gonna be an adult now. Like, because
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, right, and we watched Rugrats, and then they did like adult Rugrats. I thought that was awesome as a kid. I was like, yo,
the
adult
preteen,
Rugrats.
well, they were like preteens though. They were like,
Yeah,
they
well,
were
I
really
was like
adults,
8 when I watched it, so they were adults to me.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, but they're like teenagers. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like 12. No, not even. They're like 13 and 14.
That's a teenager.
Okay, whatever.
Win or lose, Pixar's.
Anyway, but yeah, it was okay. It was good. I remember watching a few of those episodes.
Yeah.
What? Go ahead.
Oh, the next announcement is Win or Lose. It's Pixar's first ever original long form animated series, coming to Disney Plus in 2023. Each episode follows a different character on a middle school co-ed softball team preparing for their championship game. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll see.
Better Nate Than Ever, based on the book by Tim Federle. Better Nate Than Ever will premiere on Disney Plus in spring 2022. The comedy adventure stars Aria Brooks, Joshua Bassett, Michelle Federer, and introduces Ruby Wood as Nate, with Norbert Leo Butz and Lisa Kudrow. Jesus Christ, man, names! I'm telling you.
Well, that's why you're reading them. I'm not. Trust me, it'd be a lot worse if I was trying to.
For some reason that we're getting both Better Nate Than Ever and Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Writer and producer Jeff Kinney revealed new art for the animated Diary of a Wimpy Kid coming to Disney Plus on December 3rd, 2021. So that's.
I remember seeing those in book fairs, and they were always sold out. It was never my thing. I liked them. It was just okay to me. I was always
I never read it.
Novels. It's weird because it's like part novel, part graphic. The graphic novel.
Yeah, I remember we'd have book fairs, and I'd always go. I loved the book fairs, but we were always too poor to buy any of the books. But every time I always wanted those Star Wars like collections because they came in like nice packaging and shit.
Yep, I remember those days.
Yeah.
I used to work at the book fairs. I convinced them to work at book fairs, and too, like I would just like, I would go around where we live. There's a couple people who are very affluent, and like, hey, I'll take out your garbages or do this or do that. And I could usually make like a little handful of change if I needed it. So.
Yeah. Also, the sequel Roderick Rules will come to the streamer in 2022. I don't care about that. High School Musical, the series season 3.
Oh boy, my favorite, everyone's favorite. Can't wait.
Yeah, and then finally, Disney Intertwined. entrelazados, Allegra is ready to change the past in order to reach her dream in the first Disney Plus original series produced in Latin America.
Well, I mean, good for them. Like you said, if they have like production studios in Mexico City and they're producing in Mexico City, that's great. I'm always there's a lot of I don't know, like micro infrastructure that goes into supporting like movie productions. Like it's just really good for the local economy.
Right.
It's a huge booster shot. So
I
that's
mean,
great.
as far as announcements of new series go, like my takeaways from this, like I'm excited for the Spider-Man series because I love Spider-Man.
Yep.
I'm excited for Moon Knight and She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, of course, and X-Men '97. Of course, I love the animated X-Men TV series. I mean,
Yeah.
freaking Chameleon dies off in episode 1. You know, I mean,
See, I
spoiler
watched
alert, he
the
comes back, but
I watched like the more edgy 2003 stuff when like Rogue was killing everybody and she was always screaming and
yo,
yelling about
X-Men
stuff.
Evolution was
Yeah,
amazing. I love that show.
yeah. I love when you get introduced to Wolverine. He's just riding around on a fucking Harley, just pop, pop, pop. He like
Yeah,
slices off the top of a water bottle and like leaves like chugging it and then throws it away like on the ground, not
dude.
even recycling.
Because like in X-Men Evolution, it's like Wolverine and Storm are like the adults, and everyone else is
Else,
like
yeah,
like a moody teenager.
yeah.
Uh, but
And Xavier's there. He's being crazy intense.
yeah, and X-Men Evolution is also the first place we ever see X-23.
Nope.
She was created for that series, and then later
I,
appeared in comic books.
I didn't follow that series because that was one of the earlier shows. I usually think was on at like 8 o'clock or something like that. I did a lot of Shaolin Showdown, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. And then you have to, yeah, the CW channel had like all the. Maybe I just watched a different channel.
I mean, when I would so in the morning, my standards were like um, X-Men Evolution. Uh, I don't know if you ever watched Shaolin Showdown.
Yeah, Shaolin Showdown is one of my
That
favorites.
show
Yeah,
was sick.
so good.
Yu-Gi-Oh, of course, the
Yep.
original was fucking awesome.
Yep.
What else was there? Like, this was like
Pokemon.
this was like more like when I was like 9 or 10, 8 or 9, kind of like years.
Yeah.
B-
Pokemon.
yeah, Pokemon. Before all that though, like when I was like younger, when I was like 5 or 6, it was the X-Men animated series, the Spider-Man animated series from the '90s, Gargoyles. I don't know if you ever watched Gargoyles. That show's fucking sick.
Yeah. The last show I caught was a show called SWAT Cats. I'm not sure if you ever heard of it before, but that's like probably the oldest, aside from very classic cartoons like Popeye and Sailor Man and all that stuff. They had like
Mm,
the John Williams hour or whatever it was, when they would just do all the old cartoons in a row.
yeah. I don't remember that, but I do remember also like Shaolin Showdown era, Static
Yeah.
Shock,
Oh yeah.
fucking some of the newer
Batman,
Justice League stuff.
Batman Returns
Yeah.
or not? Batman Beyond. Yep,
Batman
Super Edgy.
Beyond,
So
yeah,
then,
but that was on Cartoon Network, I think.
yes, it was. It was the
Uh,
best.
and then Osmosis Jones I watched, but I didn't. It wasn't that great. But
Yeah, the movie was really good, but it was all right.
yeah, I mean, like as a kid, like you don't understand all the stuff that's happening. Like you don't understand biology and like fucking the way your like phlebotomy and shit.
They're trying to teach you, man. Come on.
I didn't even know that they were living inside a human body. Like it never clicked
What?
for me.
I thought they kept talking about that. Like,
I mean, of
something
course they
kept.
did, but I was a kid. I didn't really care.
Oh, what? You're watching the movie. You're supposed to care.
No, not
It
the
was.
movie. I didn't watch the movie, just the TV show.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
the movie's really
I only
good.
watched like the end of the TV show before like Yu-Gi-Oh started.
Ah, okay. Well,
Yeah,
see, there's kind of your problem there, but so
yeah. But I remember because like I lived in Wisconsin and I was like watching Yu-Gi-Oh a lot and like watching these shows, and
yep,
like I was like also like when Lord of the Rings was coming out, like the same
yeah,
years. And I remember we got it was every November the extended edition of the previous one would come out. So like in November the extended edition of Two Towers came out. We bought it, and my mom like made some deep fried fries homemade at home and just ate fucking fries and artichokes and fucking watched the extended edition of Two Towers. Anyway, that's what it's like to grow up as a nerd, I guess.
yep. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So, like me when I watched Code Lyoko, when they had I forgot what it was called, but they had like the anime segment for preteens way back when.
Toonami?
No, it was before. It was on before Toonami. It was like more for like younger people. They would
Ooh,
go underwater, remember? And there was like the really shitty 3D animations, and like it was like an underwater
I
base.
remember it because I
Yeah, and she
think
was
Avatar was also on that.
yeah, something like that. No, Avatar was on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, but I liked Avatar. I didn't like
Yeah,
Kodioko. My sister loved that
I
show.
love. I
My
watched the shit out of Code Lyoko.
I remember my sister late night would always watch Zatch Bell, Inuyasha, like One Piece. I hated all those shows.
The classics. Inuyasha, man. That's
Like I liked the aesthetic of it and I wanted to get into it, but I just was so bored by it. Like Sailor Moon was my limit at that point. I was like, Sailor Moon is great. Everything else I don't give a shit about.
yeah. I was really into Inuyasha and Yu Yu Hakusho and all the classic animes of the time. The dubs were really bad. I agree. There was a lot of filler. That was always the problem with those shows, and there was a lot of really, really bad
Well, I
animation
mean,
and
also
really
like Sailor Moon, like even though I was like 7 or 6, there were hot girls in it, and I thought that's why I watched it. You know,
bad. Yeah,
like
yeah. Magic Girls, man, set unrealistic standards for men and women for the future. That's what
yeah,
we're all expressed. So,
yeah.
yeah,
So the only other things from Disney Plus Day is like today they added a bunch of things to the service.
mm,
So that includes Shang-Chi, obviously. Today's the first
yeah.
day of streaming. Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise,
Um,
which I actually like. It was a good little fun movie. Like I enjoyed The Rock, The Rock. Emily Blunt was great.
yeah.
I think that's her name. Uh, it was a lot of fun.
Um, yeah. There's also Home Sweet Home Alone, which probably another terrible Home Alone movie.
Hopefully,
Uh,
they're not bringing that guy to retirement.
Olaf Presents, Frozen Fever,
Oh
uh,
Jesus.
Paperman, The Ballad of Nessie, Feast, Get a Horse, The Little Match Girl, TikTok Tale, Tangled Ever After, Ciao Alberto. Those are all
Mm.
also on Disney Plus as of today. And The Simpsons in Plus Anniversary, Season 2 of The World According to Jeff Goldblum, and more all came out today on Disney Plus. So,
Good.
yeah, I mean, as far as the announcements go, like it's the Marvel stuff I'm most excited about. Also, I mean, I enjoyed the Obi-Wan sizzle reel, even though we didn't
Yeah.
get a trailer. Everyone's disappointed. We want a trailer. Blah blah blah. Okay, we'll get it
Yep.
eventually. Calm your fucking horses, my dude. You
Yeah.
know.
I understand why people are getting angsty, but like to me and you, we're just Star Wars veterans at the end of the day. We're used to like long thirsts of just absolutely zero content for a long time. The only content was the fucking movies, and we got
Right.
those like once every couple of years, and there was like then there was a 9 year gap. and then
Yeah.
and then those new movies happened. Like I said, they set us up with the first one. I went back, I rewatched it. It got me really, really angry because I was like, hey, this is actually really fun and enjoyable. And I'm like, I'm glad this movie exists. And then it just falls to pieces.
Yeah. I mean,
It's,
and on top of all of that, like a lot of people like these days love to get their hopes up and have all these expectations for what's gonna happen, and it's like
yeah.
uh, hasn't Star Wars disappointed you enough? Do you really want to end up disappointing yourself even
I
more?
mean, you just gotta learn to love the pain. That's just it. At the end of the day, you just gotta be a closet masochist or whatever the fuck it's
Like
called. I'm not sure. Sadist for yourself. I'm not sure.
the funny thing is, like I've been in this nerd space like all my life, and
Yep.
like I used to really care about all this stuff, like to the point where I was like, oh my god, I can't wait for this. Oh, I'm pretty sure I know exactly what's gonna happen in this movie or this TV show or whatever. And and then you go in, you get disappointed, whatever, blah blah blah, etc. etc. Repeat the process. And now honestly, like I honestly couldn't give a shit. Like
Yeah.
I still love all like comic books and Marvel and DC and Star Wars and all that shit, but like I I can't bring myself to like care about all the rumors surrounding No Way Home
Yep.
because I feel like I'll just go into the movie and then hate it because it's not what I wanted.
Exactly. I
Like
feel like that's gonna happen. It's probably gonna be the biggest Marvel explosion,
I
probably of the entire series so far, at
Yeah,
least.
I went into Eternals with like no preconceptions. I knew it got review bombed. I knew critics hated it, and I was like, whatever. I'm not gonna read anything about it. I only watched the first trailer because I don't need to watch all 90,000 other things released before the movie came out. And
Yeah.
I went in there and I didn't think about it. I just enjoyed the movie. And I'm sure if I thought about it a lot, I would be like, oh yeah, this is wrong with it. This is wrong with it. Let's compare it to all these other movies and do this and that. And it's like, or you can just enjoy things for what they are, or not.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not gonna take it away from anybody who you know didn't like it or whatever, and like tell them they have to like it just because don't think about it just like I'm not gonna tell you that. I'm just saying like I've enjoyed life more without all the preconceptions and expectations and like just accepting that things are what they are, going along with things a lot is like, and obviously I'm talking about like movies and media and entertainment. I'm not talking about like just listening to everything governments tell you and believing it and stuff. But
It's just, to me, it's just, I enjoy some parts of fan culture, but there are just some people who just get way too hype. And like you said, their expectations become absurd. They have all these crazy story ideas and all these pitches. Like, you and I both know that the internet exploded with thousands and thousands of theories about who Ray was after the first
oh
movie came
yeah.
out, after Force Awakens came out, and it was just, that was the talk of the day for a long time. I'm sure you and I talked about it a few times too. Probably got sucked in.
Yeah, and the point of it really, like, the problem with stuff like that is like people would always say, "Oh, they made such a big deal about Ray's parents," and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, when? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, they
they
brought it
vanished.
up, like
Yeah, they
they
vanished.
it became a part of her character development that like
Mm.
she desired to go back because she was waiting for her parents and all this stuff. Like, it's a part of who she is." But in what world did they ever allude to her parents being like Obi-Wan or fucking Luke or anybody? Like,
Yeah,
we knew her parents had to be quote unquote nobody because we saw a scene of her as like a 5-year-old watching them leave. She knows
yeah,
who her parents were. She would fucking know if it was someone significant.
yeah. That's the
Like,
thing.
but people just were so caught up, and I was like, it has to be no one. And then when it was no one in The Last Jedi, everybody hated that. It can't be no one.
Yeah,
It can't be no one. Like, what do you
yep,
mean it can't be? It should be no one. And it should have never been Palpatine's granddaughter. Like, being special because your parents were special makes you less special.
yep.
Like, I don't get how people don't see that. Oh, I'm powerful because my granddad was Palpatine. No, you're powerful because
Yeah,
you're a classic fantasy trope. You're a chosen person.
yeah.
Like,
And also too, like, that was the same trope they do with Luke. It was more satisfying because there was build up. Ray never really had her moments with Yoda, essentially, which is what Luke had. We saw him becoming more wiser and training and all the time, and construct. He made himself a new lightsaber. And like you said, there's no resting period between these movies. Like, it's just from movie to like the first two. It's just in, like, right into the second movie, and then like what? There's 3 months or like a week between the second movie and the third movie.
right. And
It's
there's like the it works with Luke because of how it was built and how it was set up, but also because Luke wasn't inherently powerful automatically. Like, Luke's biggest problem was always Luke, right?
mm,
If you watch A New Hope closely, right, like Luke is the antagonist of the movie
yeah,
because the only way he's able to destroy the Death Star is by believing in something that isn't himself. Because he believed in himself, right? Like, during the whole presentation, like, they're like, oh, I have to blast through 2 meters wide, and someone's like, that's how small. He's like, we stole bullseye womp rats in my T-16. They're no bigger than 2 meters. Like, he's a confident, arrogant, cocky prick. Like, he had no doubt he could blow up the fucking Death Star, but he couldn't do it until he gave up on the nav computer and believed in something bigger than himself. He had to
mm,
overcome his own ego to destroy the Death Star, right?
yeah,
Luke wasn't this crazy, powerful, could do whatever kind of person the
mm,
way that Anakin was, right?
yeah,
The way that Rey was. And
yeah,
Anakin, of course, had to go and undergo still a lot of training.
yeah,
And like, again, I mean, we could talk about this all day, of course, but like the scope of Anakin's story is like what's presented to us in the
yeah. We have
movies
before,
is
probably, if you add up all the hours.
yeah.
There's probably,
What's presented in the
yeah,
movies is far less interesting than like if you look at like the idea behind it, like the idea that you're so much
yeah,
powerful than everybody else that you're a colleague with and you're still held below all those people. Like, is
yeah,
a tragic part of it, and of course that would lead him to becoming Darth Vader. So
Well,
like
a lot of things led to him becoming Darth Vader.
right, but there's depth. There's depth to Anakin
Yeah.
Skywalker. There's
And I
depth to
think
Luke Skywalker, right?
see, yeah, and the problem is again, we need to come back to addressing the first three movies. Is that also more importantly, these characters had time for their stories to develop over a
Yeah,
well-planned three movies.
yeah.
Unfortunately, Ray and Finn. What happened to Finn? He just got left by the fucking wayside.
Well,
He was. It,
yeah. I mean, and all that is because there was no planning, right? Like Ray,
yes.
Finn, and Poe all were relatively interesting characters on their own, and then they just kind of made them boring, right? And Ray,
They acted like they're walking plot devices. That's what they
I
were.
liked Ray, and
Yeah.
and it's not like everybody can argue she's Mary Sue, and it's just because she's a woman, blah blah blah. They took away all her power as a character when they made her Palpatine's granddaughter. She's no
Yeah.
longer special for being who she is, for being a quote unquote chosen one. She's now special because she was someone's granddaughter.
Yeah.
Like, and because she met Luke Skywalker one time. Like,
Yeah. And they did that training. They were training on that island for 10 minutes before they leave on the way to
right.
1300.
And all the good that you do by having a strong female protagonist, all the good of little girls looking up to that character and saying I can accomplish great things because look, she can do it. She was she was no one special. She was no one significant, and she overcame all that and became someone. Oh no, never mind. No, she didn't. No, she just inherited it from her granddad.
Yeah, exactly. There is a character, Darth Revan,
Of
but also,
course.
and then in the video game Max, you were probably the first one. Which again, you should still get when it goes on sale again because it's probably been on sale for $3.99. So
I think I
when
have
you
it.
do play that game, also, oh, you should play it then.
Yeah.
And with how they reintroduced Revan's power is also something they could have done with Rey. Luke started training her, and then 4 weeks go by, and wow, you're really strong in the Force, and training you how to do this stuff is really easy. It's almost like it's natural to you. You're one with the Force because you really believe in yourself. Or she believes in this one goal, and it was just blah. That's all I gotta say. It's just those movies are a travesty. The first one's really fun. The wild dialogue was great. All the Hansel, fucking the scene where he gets cornered in the hallway by the two gangs. It's just the funniest fucking dialogue ever. It's so witty and it's so snappy and it's so clever.
Yeah.
Classic Harrison Ford. What was the second time?
Oh yeah.
It's just Chewbacca nodding. Oh, was he a war hero or a smuggler? And then Chewbacca shrugs. It's just good shit.
It's that one, right? I sent you a Discord.
I have to keep forgetting to have this on maximize. Yeah, play that game.
Yeah, I have it. I played a little bit, but it's kind of buggy. Like the first.
It can be.
I got bugged in the ship
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right, I'm running on E here.
Yeah, no worries. I think we got through everything. We had some fun discussions. So.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks to anybody who's tuning in, anybody listening on the podcast version or watching on the YouTube version that'll be uploaded and whatever. Appreciate it. Thanks for Realgen in the chat. Yo, thank you. If you're new, you can follow the stream, the Nerd Ledger on Twitch right here. You can click the follow button if you're not following. All that good stuff. So, yeah. Thanks, Chair. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me. Happy Friday. Hope you're having a good one.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
Peace out, everyone.